Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity, that place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Bucs fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lead Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
Welcome into the Buccateers podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It is a fiery Sunday morning. It's a crisp Sunday morning as we head into the fallish weather, heading into the heart of football season slowly but surely. And what else screams heart of football season than a Creamsicle Sunday? It's Creamsicle Day. You see J-Lo joining us today. He's riding co-captain with me here on the Buccateers. He's got his Mike Evans Creamsicle ready to fly. He's got his Bucko the Bruce hat ready to roll. I got my Rashad White Creamsicle ready to fly. I got my Bucko the Bruce hat ready to roll. J-Lo, great you can join us. I can't wait to see you next weekend, my friend. It's going to be incredible as I do head out your way to the great state of Florida for Bucs Falcons. But before all that madness, we have some madness taking place at not 1 Eastern. Remember, guys, it changed a while back now. It was 1 Eastern. Now it's a 4:25 kickoff. That's why we're coming at you guys a little later this morning, letting you guys sleep a little bit. 4:25 Eastern against Detroit. J-Lo, how the hell are you? Welcome in. It's an exciting one. Me and you have been waiting. Me, you, and many a Bucs fans have been waiting for the return of the Creamsicles for over a decade now, damn near. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm stoked. I can't wait, man. Especially that's a 4:25 game. Get to relax, watch some Red Zone, get the time to cooking. It's going to be a fun day, man. Great day in Tampa Bay.
What do you got on the menu today? Are you cooking anything, or are you gonna just? What's your game day plan?
I don't know, man. I'm up in the air, man. I'm thinking burgers, maybe some pulled pork. I can't make a decision, man.
Maybe some lion.
I'm telling you, so many things flying in my head, man. You know, we like to eat, man. So either way, I'm cooking on the grill today. I'm gonna sit back, drink some brewskis, and enjoy some football before the real prime time game comes on later, buddy.
As Edward Kodet joins us, says it's a beautiful color for the boys. Go Bucks. And in our history, J-Lo, we have gotten, I feel like you either love these or you hate these. I feel like more of us love them than hate them, but I feel like the Creamsicles are really one of those uniforms where you're either all in or you're out on them. Me personally, I'm all in. I love these things. I have a John Lynch Creamsicle. I used to have a Josh Freeman Creamsicle. College mix-ups with some nice ladies happen sometimes. And, that one's gone. And I still have my John Lynch one and this one now. But I do love the Creamsicle jerseys, J-Lo. What say you on it in general? I'm expecting Ray J to look like the old sombrero today.
No, agreed. No, I love it, man. I actually still got the Darrelle Revis Creamsicle, even though they never wore it. I was a big Revis fan, even before he became a Buck. So I bought that, and then they changed the rules last minute.
Yeah, because that was that year. They were supposed to still have Creamsicles that year, but then they changed a rule BS. So that's when the Bucs started developing the alarm clock scheme for a couple of years down the road. They thought that was going to be good. But yeah, you're 100% right. I forgot about that. They did sell Revis and all those players Creamsicles because it was supposed to happen for a fifth straight year. I think it happened from 2009 to 2012, and it was supposed to happen in 2013, but they discontinued, man. But that's a rare one. That's a good one to have.
No, yeah, I got that one. I had a Mike Williams, RIP. I did have that, but I donated to Salvation Army a few years ago.
So we both donated our jerseys in different ways.
Yeah, I didn't burn it. I'm not ruthless. No, I donated it, and hopefully whoever has it is representing it, out of respect for Mike Williams.
That is awesome, though, that you gave someone a Mike Will jersey and the Salvation Army. Just a great cause. But these creamsicles, no matter the player, never is a bad thing. Even if you got a Winslow one, maybe put that on today, even after all the crusades he went through. I actually went to a Bucs game with a buddy before who wore a Winslow jersey, and no one said a word to him about the entire thing.
Really?
Kind of crazy.
It is crazy, especially what he has going on.
Because I was giving out all my friends, we went on a vacation to Tampa. Handful of them aren't Bucs fans. So I was, giving him jerseys to wear. And I'm like, what one do I not care if I don't get back? Oh, Winslow, here you go.
It's funny you say that. I used to have a white Reebok Winslow jersey, and actually gave it away to a friend. He probably doesn't have it no more. I don't know. I lost touch with them, but I gave it to him because I had so many of them. Like I said, I collect a lot of Bucs jerseys over the years, So, like I said, overall, I'm all about the creamsicle. I hope they keep it up the next few years.
I hope we get white creamsicles in the mix, too.
Oh, man, that'd be so dope.
I'd buy one of those so quick.
Oh, yeah, no, especially the old school, like Mike Allstott, Warren Sapp. But yeah, I'll do you one better. Leroy Selman. You don't ever see those for sale anymore. Like, you have to go on eBay and pay a ton of money for them, and it's rare. That's the one I definitely buy, even though it was way before my time, before our time. But, but still, it's all about Tampa Bay. Look at this. Look. Can you see it? I got a Bucco. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Let me fix this.
Bucco
Gold Nugget.
Bucco gold in the chain. You got to love that. That's incredible, as it looks like here. Just to update you people who are watching the Buccateers, if you don't have multi-screens, we know there is a London game going on, the last London game of the year, actually, before they move the series to Germany in a couple of weeks, I believe. It's Titans-Ravens. It looks like Justin Tucker's about to try and kick yet another field goal. He's getting the work put in for him today. It's a 15-3 game. If you're going against Tucker in fantasy, he's already got 3 field goals and going for a 4th.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's been a field goal game, man. Ravens are dominating them from what I've seen for the most part. I don't know. It's been a weird season. Some of these teams are supposed to be good, and they're not that good this year. Like, there's so many of them. Like, Bengals are kind of off to a really rough start, and then the Ravens are up and down. You don't know what you're going to get out of them. And then, I don't know. It's just been a weird season. Even the Vikings, all the hype, at the beginning of the season, they were supposed to be the top dog in the division, and they're donkey duty. They're on the bottom of the barrel with the Bears.
You know what's weird too? A lot of big time players are kind of slowed down for those teams, like the Titans. Derrick Henry really hasn't gotten going this year. Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson weren't up to their normal selves, and Jefferson is now on the shelf for at least a minimum of 4 weeks there as well. And the Bengals had Joe Burrow banged up, T. Higgins banged up. So a lot of these big dogs who are starting off slow just either are injured or not really getting production from some of their top players. It'll be interesting to see if Derrick Henry can get going in the second half. He's barely done anything thus far for the Titans. And let me tell you once again, if you're facing Justin Tucker today, sorry about you. But we're here to talk creamsicle. As Cleve and me says, what up, boys? Let me talk to the Bucs. They're back, and so is the creamsicle. Yeah, I'm sure, in his LA Knight voice. J-Lo, how do you expect the stadium to look today? I know they said they're going to try and get it, creamsicle themed. I see in the middle is going to be the old, it's not just going to be the Bucco Bruce logo. It looks like they're going to put the old white designed helmet in with the Bucco Bruce logo in the middle of the white helmet. With
I saw that.
So that'll be cool. I'm expecting a old sombrero look. We'll see how they do. But what do you expect out of Ray J today?
I expect a lot of, hopefully, even out fans. I keep hearing all the hype behind the Detroit fans, saying they traveled, they took over Lambeau Field, whatever. I've been hearing Mitt's reviews on who's going to be there or not. I think we'll definitely have more orange creamsicle jerseys in that stadium than blue, just because it's a hype game, 3-1 versus 4-1. Who would not want to go to this game? Creamsicle, Bucs fans, come on. That go all the time. Come on.
If you're selling your ticket, if you're a season ticket holder and your ass is at home today and not at the Creamsicle game, we got a problem. We got a real big problem. If your ass is in your fucking couch potato location today, which it should be for every road game, but if you're a season ticket holder and you're giving up these sort of season tickets and these sorts of matchups, we got a fantasy question from Joey we'll get to in a minute, but I will say I'd bench Sam Laporta today. I think he's going to, have a tough day. I don't know if he's going to be a full go even. I don't know.
For what Adam Schefter said, he's going to test out the CAD during pregame warmups. So it's definitely going to be a game time decision. It just depends on how he feels. And honestly, let him play. Go ahead and play. Go ahead. Listen, I want the competition. I want to hear no excusing. Oh, we didn't have Laporta. Oh, we're banged up. Blah, 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 blah.
I already see some Bucs fans trying to pull that. Oh, I wanted to get the Lions at their full strength. Well, I'll tell you this, and I will say, Joey, if I had to recommend one, I would start the Cardinals running back over Laporta, just me personally. I know you're facing me. I'm not giving you bad advice here, bud, but anytime you could start a starting running back over a banged up tight end in fantasy, I think that's a pretty good decision. My man Ruiz, who's getting married very soon. Round of applause for him. Congratulations, Ruiz, on the engagement, brother. Love the show, boys. Screw Detroit. Dan Campbell doesn't have shit on Todd Bowles. The only thing Dan Campbell has is more tears, more sobs, more crying after post-game press conferences. It's like, I can't wait until we win today. And that guy is in the post-game press conference with a tears streaming down his face, saying all the excuses on why they lost, because that's what Dan Campbell's good at, right? When the Lions lose football games, he's good at crying and making a sob scene. And, I used to like that guy a lot, but the more I get used to Dan Campbell, the more he pisses me off. The more he upsets and irritates me. He's a hell of a coach. He's got his guys rallying him around him, but whenever he loses, he cries and cries and cries. And
yes, he does.
I don't know. And J-Lo, I don't know if you feel that way as well, but at one point I'm like, man, I love Dan Campbell. I'm going to root for this man every game. I'd go to war for this guy. But now I'm at the point where it feels a little bit like Taylor Swift. It's like I'm over this guy and I'm over his tears, and both feel a little fabricated, to be honest.
I think he's definitely gone through some changes on his attitude and coaching to where I think he's overhyped, in my opinion. I mean, he's done a great job. He has gotten this team back.
Absolutely. He's a good coach, I will say.
But he does whine, the whole kneecap thing, he's busting kneecaps. I'm like, okay, let's see it. Go ahead. Bring all the smoke. I'm telling you right now, you may be a big dude and probably would put me in the hospital, but at the end of the day, this ain't your day, bro. It's not your day.
Well, I think if he bites your kneecap, you could probably do a pedigree to him, because he'll be in that position, he'll be ready to roll.
Man, I'll be hobbling my way doing a fucking lay drop on his ass. Give a whole Hulk Hogan lay drop.
Hey-oh, as Christian Ruiz says. This is funny, too. He got more hair than Bowles, and that's about it for Dan Campbell. So we got some Todd Bowles love going on today. And J-Lo, I do want to get into an injury that did develop, as the Godfather's in the house, as he is pretty much every episode. Thanks again, Godfather, for checking in. Good morning, men. Good morning to you. You'll need our help today. That's a Bears fan right there. He'll be rooting for the Bucs today as well. As
I hope so.
Chicago hates Detroit too. But J-Lo, late yesterday, a weird thing kind of came out of the blue on one of these Bucs players, and it's been a pass rush rotational guy, and he's one of those guys who gets after it. He's had a pretty good year and a half, past 2 years for the Bucs in a rotational role, in my opinion. And I really would have liked to see him in the Creamsicle today. He's been on the Bucs since 2019 now. The big man, Anthony Nelson, is doubtful with a concussion, and that really hurts me. If you've been on this team for at least 5-6 seasons now, I would have loved to. Well, don't get me wrong, the rookies as well, everyone as well. But, if you've been a member of the Bucs for a long time now, you know how important these Creamsicles are to us. We're independent podcasters, to fans of the team, to everyone out there as well. And to see Anthony Nelson out of nowhere be listed as doubtful with a concussion, Man, I just don't know. I hate that for him, J-Lo. I really do.
Unfortunately, man, it's football. Injuries happen, even the worst timing. And it's unfortunate for Anthony Nelson, who I think has been homegrown from the moment we drafted him. And it's been a solid contributor on special teams and became a rotational guy, earned a second contract, which I think he deserves. Some people are iffy about it, but he knows the system. He's a hard player, and the players love him. He's a loved guy in the locker room, you know. And if he can't go, okay, next man up. Marquise Watts, maybe we might see a debut of him. More reps for Yaya Diaby. The kid's on fire. I mean, this is a very hungry football team. Like, we got a bunch of young guys in there that want to get in, especially in the Creamsicle day. You know, as far as Nelly goes, man, I mean, it's all about health, man. If he really has a concussion and he can't go, hey, rest it out, brother. Get better. We'll have you next week. Hopefully you'll get past concussion protocols. But it was really random when he came out of nowhere yesterday.
Right.
Because he practiced all week. I mean, maybe he might have felt something and maybe he just waited too late to go tell the trainer or go talk to the coach, you know. Some of these players, they hold it in, you know, because they all battle injuries. They're all hurt. There's always going to be some kind of minor injury or something minor that might be hurting them, and they're too scared to tell the coach because they don't want to be taken out of the game. They want to contribute. They want to play. So, thankfully, he came out and told the coach, hey, something's not right. I feel weird, you know. So, to me, it's more a precaution. I'd rather him be safe and rest, even though he will be missed today, especially if Shaq Barrett doesn't play today. You know, but at the same time, you know, I'd rather have him for not one game than the rest of the season. You got to think about it. We got no more bye weeks now. We go.
I definitely agree with you there.
But that is random, though. Hopefully, it's something minor. Hopefully, it's just a precaution thing, and hopefully, nothing serious is going on because these concussions are no joke. I mean, look at Chandler Jones. Dude's lost his damn mind.
Yeah, that guy lost his mind, and whether it's CTE or concussion, whatever has happened to him, it's a sad thing, and he was really a top player in the game. J-Lo, before I forget this thought, Cleve and me has a comment. Where is the pass rush coming from today? Barrett 1 sack, JTS 2. Think they each get 1 today. Well, you know what's going to be beautiful about today, J-Lo? Vita Vea, who to me is now the best, not even a competition. He's the best nose tackle at rushing the passer in the league. I'm talking about, you know, he's one of the top 5 in all of football overall. But in terms of rushing the passer, him and, you know, he's right up there nowadays. He has 3.5 sacks this year already through 4 games, remember. So he's almost averaging a sack a game. And he led the Bucs in sacks last season, Vita Vea did. And guess what, Jeremy? Today we get Kalijah Kancey back. The big man will be joining him in the middle. In the middle, we're going to get Kalijah Kancey, Vita Vea, and a beefed up, to me, and a better looking week by week Logan Hall. So we're going to have 3 really young guys right up there. And not only young guys, but these are all massive people. Kalijah Kancey, Logan Hall, Vita Vea. These are all big dudes, J-Lo. And if Shaq misses today, because Cleve and me, Shaq is questionable. He has an illness. I think he'll play today. He might be on a pitch count, though. I think JTS does get after the quarterback today. But 2 under-the-radar aspects of our pass rush, J-Lo, up the middle with Vita Vea, which is only going to get better now with Kancey back and Logan Hall improving seemingly week by week. And Rondé Barber,
Detroit,
mini Rondé Barber, Antoine Winfield Jr. seemingly gets better at rushing the passer week to week as well. He has 2 sacks this year. So, J-Lo, I'll let you give your bite at the apple here as well. But to me, between Kalijah coming back and helping Vita pursue up the middle and Antoine Winfield doing a really good job at rushing the passer when he blitzes, I think that's an underrated aspect of the Bucs pass rush attack, and I see them exploiting both of those today.
Well, I need one better. Detroit's guard is out. They're starting guard.
Ooh, we love that.
Yeah, and then their center, he's been battling an injury this week. I know he's going to play, but he's not going to be 100%. So how are you going to deal with Vita Vea? Because you got to double team him. We're gonna see Kancey get in there today. If he's like really better, 100%, or at least 95 to 90%, and then if we get at least Shaq Barrett back in there, if not, next man up. I mean, I think that one took on the biggest day to me it's going to be JTS, Yaya Diaby. I think Yaya Diaby is going to get in there because the dude's massive. The dude reminds me of Debo from Friday. He's going to take your lunch. That's how big this kid is. He's huge. Even though Louisville lost last night, so I know he's really pissed off. He's going to go off today. And then, but nah, man, Vita Vea, he's one of the top D tackles in the league, nose tackle especially. I don't think he gets enough credit like he should. Like he's well known in the Tampa Bay area, definitely in the NFC South. He's not very liked by other teams in the division. I mean, this is a solid young group of guys we got in the front. To me, I might be a little biased. It's kind of reminding me of the '99 Bucs defensive front. And these guys, they're young. I think they can develop. Like, I think Kansas is going to get in there and make a total impact today to where Darren Montgomery ain't going to get nowhere with that ball. Nowhere. He had a great game last week. Congratulations. You played the Panthers, who are a very bad football team. But good luck trying to run the ball. I think Goff is going to have a rough time. He's going to have to get rid of the ball fast. And I don't think the Lions are built on quick passes. They're built on deep balls, run and pound. And let me tell you, I mean, Dean's back, Carlton's back, and then even Zion McCollum. I mean, this kid is stepping up. So this kid's going to be a great in-and-out guy.
Keep that thought. Remember, Josh Kayepo from Pewter Report, our friend, did say Zion is going to make a case for more playing time, J-Lo, so that's a great point.
Like I said, this is going to be a game where, and I'm glad we got Fletch so the whole national media can watch and see that this Tampa Bay defense is for real. They're, they may give us some big pass plays, but they're going to get after the quarterback. It's going to be a nightmare for quarterbacks for the next few weeks to come. Like I said, I mean, I think our offense is coming around slowly, but today, as far as the defense is concerned, I think the defense will be the more important piece of the game today, more than anything, in my opinion.
I agree with you there for sure, and I think the defense and Pewter Report is breaking news, J-Lo. We do have breaking news in terms of a status of a top player for today's game, and really another shocking one. Pewter Report's reporting that Anthony Nelson, although with the concussion, he will be a game time decision. So Anthony Nelson he's fighting his ass off to try and get into today's lineup, which is awesome to see. And then this is a big one. This is a breaking news here, J-Lo. Bucs linebacker Shaq Barrett, who's been battling with an illness, will play versus the Lions today. It's official.
Oh, man.
Shaq Barrett is suiting up in the Creamsicle. And maybe WDAE's Pat Donovan gave him some good luck when he tried his Shaq Barrett Creamsicle jersey on earlier this week. So, J-Lo, that's huge. We definitely get Shaq today. Huge. And we might get Nelson today.
And you know what? And that's a good thing. If we get them back, good. And the best thing about it, Tones, is that we got depth. We got guys that can rotate in there ready to go. We got JTS, who's, I think, the full time. People have been hard on him. But I feel like, he's showing some improvement getting after the quarterback.
He's looked nice this year, I think.
A lot of people hate on him. But you know what? To me, I don't want a star. I want somebody that will contribute. Get after the quarterback, even if he doesn't get the sack, but get after the quarterback, put the pressure, force turnovers. That's what we need to do. Like I said, yes, I would love to have a sack guy, but if I have a guy that's going to get to the quarterback and put the heat on him for him to make mistakes, take advantage of it. And mind you, we got a lot of rookie quarterbacks coming up in the next few weeks. I mean, yeah, we got the Bills coming up, which will be fun to watch Thursday night. That's a whole another conversation. But anyway, but getting Shaq Barrett in there. That's phenomenal because he brings a lot of leadership too. He's a well-respected guy in the locker room. Like I said, it's one of those guys I want to go to battle with him, And like I said, for what he's gone through during the offseason and he's playing at a high level, I mean, God bless that man. I'm so glad he's still here. I really am.
There was a lot of battles for Shaq this offseason, injury, the tragic loss of his daughter as well, just a lot of sad stuff that was going on. And you, as well as I and Bucs fans all around the world, are happy to see the place that Shaq is in now and the fact that he could play today because he's one of these Bucs that have been around for a while now, helped us win a Super Bowl, been such a critical part of this organization since 2019 or so now. He's just been fantastic and really it's a blessing to see Shaq bounce back the way he has. So some good stuff there, J-Lo, between Shaq and Nelson. And on the other side of the ball, it does seem like rookie tight end Sam Laporta is going to try and play. Again, I think he'll probably be on a pitch count and maybe limited. So I'm not quite sure how effective he might be. But yeah, he is going to suit up and play. The kid is tough. I'll give him that.
I mean, Iowa tight ends, baby. They're a crop of them, man. I really wanted him in the draft during the draft process, but it's okay. I'm fine what we got. But all I can say is those Iowa tight ends. Anytime you see Iowa tight end, grab them. They know how to get them ready for the NFL. And Sam Laporta, I think I think he probably will play, but like you said, on a pitch count. But I don't see him being as effective, like going up the field, breaking tackles. He's probably going to be nursing the calf. Or maybe even on run plays, he probably won't be in as much blocking because, that takes a lot of calves, when you're going up for the block. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, if he plays, cool. I'm not worried about it no more. Like I said, let them play. I want their best. So when we smack them in the mouth, I don't have to hear from these Detroit fans at all. Or no, let them keep talking. You know what? They've been waiting a long time to be good. Congratulations. Haven't won the division. Shit, half these guys weren't even born last time they won the division, to be real. I mean, just saying. But
you're not wrong there.
But I will say one thing, though, if I may. One thing. It's been kind of bugging me all week. I thought about it, processed it. The last time we beat these cats in this stadium down the street from my house was back in 2005. That long, and I couldn't believe it.
Well, we had the gut-wrenching 2010 loss that cost us the playoffs on that phantom OPI Kellen Winslow Jr. call.
Oh yeah, no, that was bull, dude. We got screwed. And the next year, we got beat up pretty bad. That's when the Lions were actually good, but didn't get very far. But yeah, I think it was in 2017. I don't know. I mean, I was there, but our season was done. I mean, I really didn't care what would have happened. I mean, I wanted to see it win, but Jameis was Jameis. We're not gonna get into that story, but I mean, we pretty much won more in Detroit than we won here at home recently to them. So that's their argument. Probably we beat y'all. Yeah, but how many rings y'all guys got?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's all we got to do right there when you talk to a Lions fan. Is we are here on the Buccateers today. It's Tampa Tones alongside J-Lo here, and we're getting you guys ready for game day on the Way Too Early pregame show breakfast with the Buccateers edition. And we're going to get into our betting segment now that Huncho and I usually do on this. So J-Lo, pretty much I'm going to go through some Bucs prop bets, and you say if you think he's going to hit that mark or not. We go through, receiving yards, tackles, over-unders, things like that. So here we go. First and foremost, Antoine Winfield Jr., over-under on tackles is 6.5. If you bet $15 on over 6.5 tackles, you'd win 15 back. Do you think Winfield Jr. gets over 6.5 tackles today?
Absolutely. I think he will. He's all over the place. I mean, this man is a tackling machine. And like you say, he is like a Ronnie Barber. He plays all over the place. You can put him at corner, nickel, safety. But to me, his best traits at safety because he's able to get in there and make those tackles on the run plays. So, yes, I say definitely go over for sure.
Devin White over 6.5 today. You wouldn't win as much money back on this one because he's likely to get to that 7 tackle mark. If you put 15 on it, you'd win about $12 back. Do you think that's enough incentive for you to bet Devin White over 6.5? Do you think he gets there today?
That's a tough one, Tone. I ain't gonna lie, man. They love going after him on the blocking scheme. So I would say yes, because I think him and Levante will work together. So I would say yes. I think he'll definitely hit that mark today. Absolutely.
And they're a team that runs a lot too, right? So maybe that'll help his chance at tackles as Olivia chimes in and says Jeremy.
Olivia, what's up?
Fan favorite of Jeremy's is in the room. Yeah, it was a fun time a couple weeks back. I look forward to next week already. It's going to be incredible. And J-Lo, the last one for tackles now. Levante David over under 7.5 tackles. His odds are the same as Devin White, although one more tackle. If you bet 15 on Levante to get over 7.5, you'd win roughly 12 back. Do you think Levante is getting over 7.5 tackles in this one?
Man, tough one. But I would say yes. I think this is going to be a tackling type game. I feel Detroit's going to try to run the ball as much as possible or try to throw those middle passes to where Levante and Devin will be in the middle for the tackle. So, yes, I say bet on it.
Here's one I like. Chase McLaughlin, Bucs kicker, to score over 5.5 points, meaning he'll either get 2 field goals or a field goal and 3 extra points. If you put 20 on it, you'd win 20 back. I think McLaughlin gets there today, Jeremy. I think McLaughlin produces more than 5 points on himself with his own leg. Is David Ferraris joining us live on Facebook? How the hell are you, David? Thanks for joining us this morning. But I think McLaughlin gets over 5.5 points. What say you?
I agree. No, definitely. So far, knock on wood, the dude's been clutch. So, yes, I think he'll definitely put up 5 points, whether it's field goals, which I think's been kind of where we've been lately at the beginning of the games, getting some field goals in before touchdowns. So I agree, 5 points for sure. That one I would bet more than the tackles with Levante and Devin for sure.
I agree with that, and you'd win better money with that one as well. So J-Lo and I both like the McLaughlin one a lot. Here's where it gets interesting when you look at our running backs rushing totals, or not just running backs, but rushing yard totals for the Bucs in general. Baker Mayfield's is set at over under 14.5 rushing yards. That's an interesting one because he always gets right around the 10 mark, and then you never know. If you kneel, you do get negated some rushing yards. J-Lo, what say you, Baker Mayfield over under 14.5 rushing yards? I'm going to say he gets the over here. I think he gets about 17 to 18 rush yards today.
No, I agree for sure. Actually, I actually made a bet on that one, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, they got it on Prize Pits for 14 yards rushing.
Wow.
So I made a bet on that because lately he likes to be running around. And I think he will be doing that today. I think he's definitely going to be, running out of the pocket, scrambling for sure, trying to get those extra yards, especially if it's like a 3rd and 5. I can see it happening. So that's one of the ones I made a bet on for sure on Prize Pits.
I like that a lot. I would take the over there for sure, too. I think you got yourself a nice little bet on your hands there, brother. Last rushing total before we get to receiving. Rachaad White over under 47.5 rush yards today. He's been up and down this year. 2 games where he's hit that mark, 2 games where he hasn't. Do you find Rachaad White hitting the over 47.5 rushing total mark today? You'd win your money back straight up.
Oh, man. As much as I want to believe in that today, I think he'll produce more on catching and receiving the ball, making those short catches and gaining the yardage. So I would say under on that one because Detroit does have a very underrated defense, especially the front 7.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I think definitely he could get close to that mark, but I think he'll produce more of it on a receiving end, on catching the ball and taking it up for like 20 to 30 yards. That's where I think he's come more in handy lately. I mean, he's had some good runs,
Maybe some screen action.
Yeah, screen action. There you go. That's a better answer. Thank you, sir. Yes.
I like Rachaad in the screen game as well today. 47.5. The thing with that, I do agree with you. I don't love his odds to get there, but that really only takes like one big run on the day, and then obviously you got to chip away with all your other ones. But say if he does get a 20 to 25 yard breakout, J-Lo, that means what? On his other 10 to 11 carries, he only has to amass 20 to 25 yards. So that's a make or break for me. Will Rachaad rip off a big one today? I think he does. I think Dave Canales and this Bucs team worked at offensive line run blocking and run scheming for the running backs. Because let's be honest, whether it was Vaughn, Tucker, or White, we really haven't seen all too much out of the backfield yet this year. But at day's end, even Edmonds before he got hurt, but at day's end, Rachaad White, to me, does give us the most hope probably to produce some sort of something out of the backfield. And today, I think he might get a big one. I'd only put a little on it, but I'm taking the over in 47.5 rush yards. Mike Evans receiving yards. Over under 62.5, coming off a bad hamstring. Do you think he gets to that 62 mark?
Oh yeah, for sure. I bet on Mike a couple times on the receiving yards. He's coming clutch on it between Minnesota and the Bears. He definitely came in clutch on that. I won some good money on the receiving yards on Mike. So I think yes, definitely he'll get that. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's been really good all year so far, so I would like that one as well. Next, we're going to move to the other Bucs top receiver, Chris Godwin. Godwin over under receiving yards is, let's see here, 58.5. It's always a little less than Mike, seemingly. Do you like the 58.5 over under on Godwin receiving yards? I like this one a lot today. I think him and Baker developed a good rapport before after Evans' injury last week.
Well, I think they're building chemistry. It took them a little time. Not that they weren't doing it before, but you can definitely tell Baker's favoring Mike a little bit more on some of the plays because he's getting open more. But I think they're coming up with more plays to get Godwin more involved. So to me today, like you said about Rachaad White earlier, I think it's going to be more of a passing situation than a run situation. So I think, yes, he would get it too. I think both Mike and Chris are going to have good days. Not get over 100 yards, but I think they'll get over that, the yardage mark between 58 and 60 something, because I see a little bit of run play, but more play action, rollouts. Those are the kind of play that I expect to see today against a Detroit defense that's been pretty decent this year. So, yes.
And there goes Derrick Henry. Henry to the 50, Henry to the 40. Henry's off. Henry's to the 30, to the 20. Henry's off to the 11, to the 5. Derrick Henry, and that's what I'm talking about, J-Lo. If the Bucs could get that going with Rachaad White today, if you ladies and gentlemen just missed it, London game update, Ryan Tannehill got injured the play before staying in the game, though. He got roughing the passer on 3rd and 5, J-Lo, and then the first play after the roughing the passer, Derrick Henry just takes the direct snap out of shotgun and runs it for about 70 yards down the field, ran out of steam. But if the Bucs could get one run like that today, oh baby, I'd be a creamsicle happy.
I'll be taking some shots, man.
That's what I'm saying. So
I mean, that's all I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a big run at Rachaad White, and I think it's gonna come. I think it really will. Like I said, Rachaad's a very underrated player. I just think it's just taking time for him to get his feet wet. Hopefully Hopkins will get a fade route because I think you're beating me right now in fantasy. You and I are playing each other, so that's why I got a little mad about Derrick Henry getting the run. That's your guy.
I know. Do I have him in that league? I'm in so many leagues.
You do, yeah. Against me, you do. I got Hop in mine.
There we go. Is our man Neil, who joins us every week, is in
What's up,
here.
Neil?
What it do, Neil? It's J-Lo
What
and
do you
Tampa Tones here on a Sunday on the way too early pregame show, breakfast with the Buccateers. As we're keeping you updated on the London game. We got a couple more prop bets to go over. K-Dot and J-Lo, 24.5 receiving yards. The young tight end has always been right around that mark. Do you think he makes an emergence today and gets to the over 24.5 receiving yards?
That's a real tricky one. Like, that one's real tricky because I feel like sneakingly that's Baker's security blanket, in my opinion. Like, K. Dotton's always been sneaky, getting those little short routes. So, 24 yards. You know what? Bet. Do it. Yeah, over. I think he'll be definitely in play for a couple big passes and hit close to that 24 mark for sure. I think it's 3 or 4 touches. Yeah, he can hit that 24 mark.
And there was your DeAndre Hopkins fade route, but instead of a touchdown catch, it's a pass interference. And that's going to put the Titans at the 1 yard line. But wait, Ravens are saying it's offensive. And now we got to huddle up by the Zebras, so we'll keep you posted in that one. What the outcome is Hopkins and Ravens defenders are exchanging words, starting to get very chippy down there. It's getting very...
Especially Hopkins and Humphreys, man. They've been butting heads all day today.
Yeah, and Odell Beckham with the other side. You got a couple good matchups to watch. I agree with you. The Otten one's going to be a close one to keep an eye on. What we do both like, Rachaad White over 18.5 receiving yards. I think we both like that one, right?
That one I bet. That one I bet for sure over the rushing for sure.
I like 18.5 because as much as we say one big run, that's just a big screen away from busting it. As London, they threw a flag And then they picked up the flag. They said it's uncatchable. So Titans are going to have to settle for a field goal with Nick Folk. Nick Folk.
Oh, that guy. When I hear that name, I just want to throw a beer can at him, man.
Right. That's like last night I was flipping around the games and Boise State screwed me. Teams on my shit list in college football, West Virginia, Colorado, and Boise State, they all cost me some coin. I went to bed. Boise State was up 30-10. 6 minutes to go. I wake up. They lost 31-30. I don't know. Colorado State. Crappy loss. But more important moral of the story is Dirk Cutter was announced in that game. I was just flicking around the channels and, not that I was a huge Dirk Cutter guy, but sometimes these guys never go away. I was interested to hear Dirk Cutter on the call last night. He used to be Boise State's head coach. He was obviously the Bucs head coach. And then last year he was Boise State's offensive coordinator. But I thought that was interesting, J-Lo, seeing Dirk Cutter calling a college football game last night.
Really? Man, I haven't heard nothing since he got canned. Man.
He was oddly their interim offensive coordinator last year at Boise State. I don't even know how the hell that happened. But
I thought he retired because he was like offensive coordinator over in Atlanta, and then I thought he retired. But hey, go ahead, Cutter, give it another go. You need to learn to grow some huevos down there, man. Because there were just sometimes I felt like he was so soft, like he would not really get into it. I think the most fiery thing I see out of Dirk Cutter, if we're on the subject, if you don't mind, when it's him and Sean Payton kind of got into like a little heated discussion in week 17.
I remember they were good job.
Yeah, and he said, "Hey, come here, I'm not done talking." I'm like, "There we go. There's the fire. That's what we needed early in the season, bro."
Mm-hmm.
I want a coach that's going to fire these boys up. And at first I doubted Todd Bowles, but when I saw the after game, speeches, this man is a fiery guy. He just doesn't let it out. He's very calm during the game like Dungy, but he fires these boys up in the locker room, and I like that. And that's what we need. We need a guy who's going to fire these boys up.
Exactly.
So anyway, that's how I felt about Dirk Cutter. I just felt like he had no huevos down there, and he lost the team way before 18 season even started. I mean, that's my opinion, Dirk Cutter. I mean, God bless him. I hope he, wherever his route is, hopefully he'll, succeed.
Wish him well, but yeah, you didn't do much for us, Dirk. Sorry about that, buddy. But it was just interesting flipping through the channels, seeing him still relevant. Speaking of relevant, a lot of people had Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield as not being NFL relevant for a while, a couple of years back. J-Lo, remember, a lot of people said Goff was on the way out. A lot of people said Baker might not deserve another chance. Here's a fun bet. You could bet against each other. Player to have most passing yards, Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield. Mayfield is the underdog here. If you bet $10 on Mayfield, you'd win $11.50 back. If you bet $10 on Jared Goff, you'd only win $7.50 back. So Goff is a heavy favorite. As Neil said, Vegas is betting against us. This is another one of those instances where Vegas is betting against us here. Do you think Mayfield or Goff get more passing yards in today's game?
I would say yes. Because Goff, if you go back to his track record against our defense, the last couple of times we played against him, he's done pretty successful, putting up a lot of yards. Like the 19 season, when he was on the Rams, he put like 500-something yards, which was like crazy. And then in 2020, when he came down here, he pretty much showed us up. So I definitely think he'll put up a lot of yards today in passing. He's going to be running for his life with Kancey chasing him down. And
the Kancey man can.
Oh, no, Kancey man can, baby. But Baker, I think, can put up some yardage too. I think he's going to be throwing the ball a lot more than running it. Because, like I said, I mean, Aiden Hudson's going to get in there after him here and there. I think Goodecki's going to give him a good fight. I think he'll definitely get him on some pass plays. But just going to be some plays where you just can't block him all day. Because Aiden Hudson, he's a freak, man. Freak guy. Get in
freak
there.
Guy indeed. Aiden is – you got to watch out for him. And like you said, their front seven's really sharpened up the past year or so.
But, however, I like Goodecki, his comments on, oh, I think Hunter's better than Hudson. I'm like, okay.
If the Titans intercept one and run it back to the 25-yard line and they're starting to fight in this one. They're still down 18-6, but the Titans will have the ball on the 25-yard line midway through the third. 8.5 left in London. Games on NFL Network. But J-Lo, I agree with you. A lot of people were, shied off by those comments saying, why'd he make him? I love him. I think, hey, talk your talk, puff your chest out. And if you truly think a guy's better, say it. Why not? And maybe that gets in Hutchinson's head a little bit as well.
I like it. It's a good tactic. It's a good way to piss him off. Get him off his game plan. Sometimes it works. I mean, what do you think Sapp did for all those years against the Packers and Brett Favre? He got in his ear, processed some profanity to him. Who knows?
Oh, and that was Sean Murphy-Bunting with the pick.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Not to cut you off, but former Buck SMB with the pick.
Hey, good for him, man. I always liked SMB. I mean, it's like a marriage. I hate him and I love him, but the kid has a lot of heart and a lot of potential. He's had bad luck and injuries when he was here. But there were some plays he made in the playoffs, which I'll never forget in 2020. I mean, he was a big part of our Super Bowl run.
I'll always have a soft spot for him because the day we drafted him, he followed me on Twitter because I followed him and he followed me right away. And he still follows me to date. And,
I'll be for one. When he got drafted, I had no idea who he was. I never heard of him. I didn't hear him in the draft process. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I wanted Greedy Williams. But then when I saw his name pop up, I'm like, Sean Bunting, who's this guy? So I looked him up. I'm like, I mean, okay, let's ride. Let's see what he does. I mean, but at the end of the day, but I grew on to him, during his time in Tampa, and best of luck to him in Tennessee. And good for him getting that pick. Maybe he can earn another contract somewhere, whether it's Tennessee or anywhere else. Because
I agree with you, J-Lo. I think he's a good young guy, but like you said, one of those guys who was back and forth, helter-skelter, up and down more so in terms of production. It was really one of those roller coaster type things with SMB. But hey, I'll say this. He was a nice guy when I met him, and I actually met his brother at the club in Tampa. It's one of those clubs that, you go to later in night than earlier in the night. But his brother was a great guy too. So, I met the mom in person as well. I really met the whole Murphy-Bunting family. They were a bunch of great people.
And they have a foundation too, don't they?
Yep, he does have a foundation as well. And there's a personal foul on the Ravens as this game's getting even more chippy now. A Titans receiver was just hit in the head defenseless by not one but two Ravens players. One Ravens player punched him in the helmet. The other led with his helmet. That looked ugly. So, yeah, we just have a couple more prop bets to go over, and then we're going to do around the world of NFL where we do our fastest 4 minutes. And we're going to switch off thinking who wins NFL games and give our one big thing walk-off and final word here. So we got about, 12 to 20 minutes left on this one. Last two prop bets here. Baker Mayfield over 220, or no, we're going to go with this one. We're going to switch it up. Baker Mayfield over 1.5 passing touchdowns. If you bet $10 on Mayfield to get over 1.5 passing touchdowns, you would win $14.50 if he's able to do so. Do you have faith in Baker to throw two
touchdowns? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Yeah,
I think he gets there.
Matter of fact, I'll bet that on Price Bets too if it's on there. I'll bet on him getting that.
I think he gets there for sure. I mean, you have Evans, you have Godwin, you have Raheem Jarrett, you got Trey Palmer, you got Devin Tompkins, you got Rashad White out there. So
we even got O'Keefe, a little hidden gem.
And it looks like they did. Yeah, O'Keefe. It looks like they did eject that Ravens player for the hit to the head.
That's gonna be a nice little fine. He'll get fined really well. He got the money.
As the Titans receivers head into the sideline, as is the Ravens, it seems like, as you said, he'll get fined. Let's go to touchdown scorers now. Speaking of throwing touchdowns, who might catch one of those touchdowns? Would you bet Mike Evans to score a touchdown today? If you put $10 on it and Mike Evans scores a touchdown, you would win $14.30. Do you think that happens today?
Well, his main games he's played, he scored every single game except for the Philly game and the Saints games he got hurt. So I would say yes. I think he gets a touchdown play, whether it's a short or a deep ball. I'll put money on that.
If Derrick Henry just scores, I know you hate to hear that.
All
Had to
good.
bring that up. But
Whatever. Throw some shades of gray. Whatever.
no, I like Evans to score and that's good odds too to me, right? $10 to win $14.30.
I'm about to win me some money today, man. I'm about to go on Prize Pits and put some money in there.
Yeah, and I also like this one, J-Lo. Let me pull it. What the heck? Did they take it? No, it's still up here. Chris Godwin hasn't found his way into the end zone yet this year. He's got to get in there eventually, right? And today's odds are times 165. So if you bet 10 on him to score and he does, you'd win $16.50.
That one's a tricky one. Like yardage wise, I like Godwin. Catches wise I would, but like I said, he just doesn't get in the end zone a lot. They seem to target Mike and Rashad White more, so I would not bet on that one. That one I'll probably be out on that one.
We're gonna have two more touchdown score ones to get over here. Trey Palmer plus 410. If you put $10 on it, you'd win $40.10. If Trey Palmer scores a touchdown, is that a risk worth willing to take? Do you think Trey Palmer touchdown score at times 410?
Absolutely, I'll do the dance right now.
Hey, my legs are shaking underneath. Let's go.
Let's do it. I think I'll put a bet on that one. Sure.
Just two more here we're going to do. O'Keefe, you mentioned him earlier. His odds are times 1,400. So if you put 10 on O'Keefe to score and he does, you'd win $140. Are you risking that?
No. Absolutely not. No.
Wow, you gave him the shout out earlier, and now you're saying, hold on.
I'm telling you, man, that game in Minnesota at first, they kept trying to get him the ball. And I was getting so frustrated. I was like, stop throwing him the damn ball. What are you doing? He's a blocking tight end. No. And honestly, after that, he never saw the ball again as much. Out of all the games I watched, after that Minnesota game, he barely got the ball thrown to him. I even made a bet in week 2 against the Bears that there was like a bet that he would get like 1.5 catches, and I put 0. And sure enough, 0, and I won $50 because of that.
Yeah, I don't know why 1.5 is a lot. His over-under should really never be more than a half to me.
Exactly. They were trying to hype it up because in the Minnesota game, they kept throwing him the ball.
Right.
And the reason why is because he's from Minnesota. He's a former golfer. That's nice to know. But at the same time, he's not a pass-catching tight end, no matter how much we want him to be. But he is a good blocker. And maybe in the red zone, yeah, we could sneak him in there. But some reason, after that Minnesota game, he never saw the ball again.
Yeah, and I was actually at the game last year where he scored his first career touchdown, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, against the Browns. Yep, I was there. I was going crazy. I was saying, "Say it ain't so, Co. Say it ain't so." And then we ended up losing the game, and that's how that one went. But last one here, J-Lo, in terms of betting on the Bucs today. Raheem Jarrett hasn't seen the field too much, but he might be drawn up in the plans today. He's times 950 to score a touchdown. If you put $10 on that, you'd win 95. Are you betting? And do you have faith in Raheem Jarrett to get into the end zone today?
I have faith, but the touchdown will not be today. I think Devin Tompkins has earned more reps on the field. He's been making more plays. I really don't think we'll see Jarrett in there as much today. We'll see him on special teams. And he has come in a couple times the last few games doing like little catches. But for a touchdown, I don't think it's going to happen today. But hey, I hope I'm wrong. I mean, if it helps us win the football game, yes, give him the effing ball. But I just don't see him getting a touchdown. I see him making maybe a couple catches on special teams. But I think the main guys today is going to be Mike, Chris, Auden, and Rashad White on some catches. That would be my best bet when it comes to that. I wouldn't. Jaron O'Keefe, I mean, that's how they get you, man. They want your money. And that's when they try to get the real non-Buck fans. You know what I mean? Real Bucks fans know, and some of them will agree, some of them won't. I don't.
Right, like my friend bet David Wells to score a touchdown the other night because he was times 24. You know, if you put 10 on it, you'd win $240. But that's how they draw you and get you, right?
Who? I'm just messing with you.
No, I like it. Who?
David Wells. I mean, I like the kid in the preseason, but he fumbled the ball one game and almost cost us a drive. But anyway, yeah, only the real Bucs fans know. And those last two bets, I mean, those are easy calls. No, absolutely not.
Before we get to our fastest 4 minutes here, who's the ginger you're looking forward to seeing in Creamsicle most on the Bucs today? Is it going to be Kyle Trask? Is it going to be Cody Mock? Is it going to be Co Kieft? And Ryan Jensen, we're not going to mention because I think he'd win, but he's not even playing today, obviously. So out of Trask, Kieft, and Mock, which ginger are you looking forward to see rep their color, the creamsicle? Their red hair will flow with the cream orange.
You know, you mentioned Jensen. That's one I definitely would have picked, and it's sad that he won't be in Creamsicle. But now, when the subject tries, he won't get in unless Godfrey Baker gets hurt. So I gotta go with Cody Mott, man, the toothless wonder. Let's get that ginger boy out there in the Creamsicle. I want to see him pancake the crap out of somebody today.
Eating pancake breakfast with the Buccateers. You gotta reference pancakes, right? And speaking of pancakes, we are here on Breakfast with the Buccateers on the way too early pregame show. A little later today because we got flexed to 4:25. It's J-Lo, it's Tampa Tones here, and we're gonna bring you guys a couple more segments around the NFL fastest 4 minutes. Then our one big things and walk-offs and our final words of the show here today as well. So we've been having fun here. We're going to do our fastest 4 minutes around the world of the NFL now, where we each go through, not doing spreads, just picking games, winners or losers straight up. We're going to pick some games here on the Buccateers pod, the way too early pregame show, Breakfast with the Buccateers. I know the game's underway, J-Lo, but it's in London right now. 18-13, Ravens on top. Titans have the ball midway through the third quarter. Who do you think finishes that one out? Ravens or Titans? As I'm going to cue the music now for the fastest 4 minutes. Sorry about that.
You're good. Cue it.
Here we go. Yeah, you got the Ravens, you said?
Yep.
I'm going to go with, I think the Ravens close this one out as well. I think the Ravens come back or maintain their lead a little bit and play better down the stretch there. Vikings or Bears? Who you got winning that one? Battle of the one-win teams. Vikings travel to Chicago, 1 o'clock Eastern.
I'm going to have to go with the Bears. I think they're going to pick up after what they did against Washington. I think the Vikings are just too beat up right now, and now that Jetta's out for a few weeks, I got to go with the Bears at home.
Yep, I'm going with the Bears at home as well. Vikings are beat up a little bit. Justin Fields has looked pretty damn good so far all this season, so I'm looking forward to seeing. I think the Bears do upend the Vikings in that one, but I wouldn't be shocked if Hawkinson has a monster game and it doesn't end too well for the Bears at the same time. But I would take the Bears, especially if we're talking spread with the 3. Commanders, Falcons in Atlanta, 1 o'clock Eastern. Who you got in this one?
After an embarrassing loss by the Commanders at home, I like Washington Commanders to make a comeback and upset the Falcons in their home in Atlanta. I think Ritter is not that good, even though he's undefeated at home, but you're getting that first loss today, buddy.
I agree with you there. Give me the Commandos, the Redskins, the football team, the Commanders, Washington, whatever you want to call them. I think they end up winning this one straight up today. Desmond Ritter really hasn't impressed me all too much. I got the Commanders coming out on top. I got a close game, but give me Washington in a victory to help the Bucs out in the NFC South. I think this one's going to be fun, J-Lo. 1 o'clock Eastern. Colts are without Anthony Richardson, but that may give him a boost today as Gardner Minshew returns to his former team. You think there's any Minshew magic left in the tank for him and the Colts as Minshew tries to bring a revenge game upon Jacksonville? That one's in Jacksonville, 1 o'clock Eastern. Are you rolling with the Jags or the Colts?
Come on, man. Gardner Minshew going back home to Jacksonville, starting quarterback. That's marked on his calendar. You damn right he's going to go in there and beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. You know why? It's a Jacksonville thing they do. They lose to not so good teams. And I like the Colts that one big, actually. I think Gardner Minshew's going to go off on the Jags today.
Wow, and if my brother's listening, he'll love that one. He's a huge Colts head, and he's amped for. Obviously, we're big Richardson guys. We actually both got Richardson's autographs last week, so that was pretty incredible. But
That's
I'm
dope.
I'm with you here, man. I feel bad for Richardson, the kid, and it's been rumored now that he might miss the entire season, actually. But I think at least for today, I don't know about the future, but maybe for today against Jacksonville, I think Minshew is in line for a revenge game.
Okay, Uncle Rico number 2.
Speaking of Uncle Rico number 2, Panthers have an Uncle Rico at head coach right now, and Frank Reich at the Miami Dolphins. That game's 1 o'clock Eastern. I'm not even going to give much time for this. I think Dolphins absolutely.
Oh yeah, no, Dolphins all day. Panthers stay winless.
I think they obliterate them. And moving on here to the next one, staying at the 1 o'clock Eastern time slot, you got San Fran traveling to Cleveland. Cleveland is without Watson, and they're not going to start the rookie out of UCLA, DTR. They're actually going to start XFL journeyman PJ Walker. I think 49ers jump all over Cleveland. I think it might be a little closer than people think, but at the end of the day, I think the Niners take care of business.
Yeah, nope. Niners all day, man. Cleveland has always been Cleveland, not Believeland. So I'm going with the 49ers on Cleveland today.
As Joakim Noah said the one time for the Bulls, who would ever want to take a vacation to Cleveland?
Exactly.
1 o'clock Eastern time. I think this one's going to be a fun game, J-Lo. Saints travel to Houston. Houston's been pretty impressive so far this year under first-year head coach D'Amico Ryans and rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud, who's looked tremendous as well. I like the Texans to upset the Saints at home in this one. I think their defense plays great. I think this one's really low scoring, but I think the Texans do enough to win.
Sorry, Bucs Nation, but I like the Texans. C.J. Stroud's been really excellent, but the Saints do have an underrated defense, I feel, and I think the Saints will pull a close one out. They won't shut them out like they did, Patriots last week, but I like the Saints in Houston in a close one by a field goal.
Leave it up to Ryan Tannehill to throw an interception. The Titans were around the 50-yard line. It was 3rd and 2, and Tannehill launched it, and he launched an interception. Wow, that was just nowhere near. You got to wonder if they're close. He's a little banged up as well to maybe going to Malik Willis or Will Levis. Seattle travels to Bengals, and this is my lock of the day. Bengals money line, straight up. Give me the Bengals straight up. I think the Bengals take care of Seattle today. I think Seattle lays down. I think the Bengals are about to start playing their better brand of football as Joe Burrow gets healthier. Give me the Bengals.
Give me the Seattle Seahawks and
wow
to upset the Bengals, because the Bengals are not the Bengals we're used to watching last year. They're a very beat-up team, very confusing, and Seattle's a very underrated team, and I like Seattle in Cincinnati.
I see you. 4 o'clock time slot. Kicks off with New England Raiders, 4:05, as the Patriots have just been brutal this year. There's reports that Mac Jones might get benched during today's game if he doesn't play well. J-Lo, are you going with a desperate Bill Belichick on the road here, or are you going with the Raiders at home?
I'm going to go with Bill Belichick and the Patriots. I think they're going to make a strong case to win today. I think the Raiders are really not that good, in my opinion. They're just as bad as the Patriots, and I'm going with the Patriots. I don't see Belichick going 3 straight blowouts, like he's done the last 2 weeks. So I let the Patriots in Vegas to upset the Raiders.
I like the Patriots to win today as well, actually. Cardinals travel to the Rams, 4:25 Eastern. I think the Rams and McVay are all over Dobbs in this one. What say you?
My upset of the day, Cardinals over the Rams.
Let's go.
Because the Cardinals have been playing some tough football against really good teams, keeping it close. I mean, they beat the Dallas Cowgirls when everybody picked them to get pounded. So that's my answer. And the Rams, they're good, but they're getting upset today at home by the Cardinals.
As we got Bucks Rays Bolts joining, saying hope Bucks win today. Speaking of the Bucks, it's Lions Bucks. I think I know where you're going. Pops makes his prediction right now. Pops said 26-23 Bucks. Where are you heading in this one?
Like I told you the other day, I'm going 23-16, Bucs win. I think we'll get off to a good start and have a good lead on them. Then the Lions start coming back a little bit, and then we just finish them off with a field goal to keep the game 6 points, and Bucs win. 7 points.
I got the Bucs winning this one as well, 28-25. Got us winning by a field goal, and we're gonna win, and it's gonna be beautiful on Creamsicle Day and remain atop of the NFC South. Eagles travel to the Jets at 4:25 Eastern. This is my upset alert. I think Jets might pull this one out. I think Eagles struggle in New York today. What say you, J-Lo?
That's a tough one, man. Sauce Gardner's not playing tonight. Daddy said he's out, so I gotta go with the Eagles. Eagles got too much firepower right now, and their defense is out. Even though they're not going to have Darius Slay, so it could be an upset alert. But I
think Eagles still win, but I don't think they cover.
No, they don't. They're too talented for that. I think they'll pull out the win in a close one. The experts think. So that Philly and New York.
Our two primetime games now. Giants travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills by 1 million after losing last week.
What a dumpster fire the Giants are going through with injuries. Even though they Saquon Barkley to play in my other fantasy league, but the Bills for sure by 1 million. They are going to make an example out of the ball tonight.
And then the last game on the docket, a fun one in primetime. You got the AFC version of the Cowboys against the real version of the Cowboys as Dallas travels to the Chargers. Cowboys versus Cowboys. Who you got in that battle? 8:15 Eastern tomorrow night. I call the Chargers the Cowboys because they always do okay in the regular season, then just flop.
Agreed. To me, they're very similar teams. Talented, but can't really produce wins right now. So I'm going with the Chargers at home. I think this is a do or die for both teams, and they both need a win bad. And if the Chargers want to be able to keep up with the Chiefs, then they will pull out this win, and the Cowboys lose again in prime time. Embarrassment because the Cowboys are the Cowgirls. They suck.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's been our fastest 4 minutes. I don't know who's going to win that one. It's going to be a close one. I'll take the Cowboys just by a point or something. But yeah, I think it's going to be a crap fest. Is Malik Willis is warming up on the sideline now for the Titans. Whatever that is worth, is the Ravens are driving, getting late into that game. And speaking of late, getting late into the breakfast with the Buccateers, as it's almost noon. We're almost an hour to kickoff. So J-Lo and I got just 2 more segments left, and we're going to let you guys go and enjoy your NFL Sundays. J-Lo, what's your one big thing to look out for in today's game? What's got your eyes on the prize? What are you really zoned in on?
My thing that's got my eyes is the pass rush, getting after Jared Goff, creating turnovers, keeping them out of our end zone today. That's the real question. Let's see how they do shutting down the run. Can they shut down David Montgomery, which I think we can, because the Lions are depleted right now in their offensive line. I mean, they're depleted all over. But the one that I keep an eye on with Elijah Cansey in the lineup, with Vita Vea going to get double-teamed a lot, I'm looking to see what Cansey and Logan Hall do. Those 3 special guys on the field, getting at their Goff, shutting down the run, creating the short pass, keep them away from the first down yard line. Because Davis, he's a tackle machine. And Dean, we'll see how healthy he really is. And if he's slowing down, then put in Zion, put the kid in. Like I said, I mean, this is going to be a fun game to watch, people. I think, this is the perfect opportunity on national television. Pretty much everybody is going to be watching that game. And I think that's what we need to watch out for. I'm going to get out for the front 7 to get after Jared Goff today. I'm not worried about Baker. Baker's been taking care of the ball pretty well, managing the drive. So, defense, baby.
My one big thing to look out for is if the Bucs win, pay attention for a giveaway after. We're going to be giving away some cool autographed stuff or game used stuff if the Bucs do end up winning in today's Creamsicle affair. So pay attention to our account on X at Buccateers, Buccateers, or over on Instagram at Buccateers Pod. BUCCATEERSPOD.
Go Bucs.
I love it. Or pay attention to my ex as well, Tampa Tones, TAMPATONES. J-Lo, we're about to strap up for battle, brother. Final word. Bucs Lions, 4:25 Eastern. All eyes on this one, especially with 3 other games in the afternoon as we walk off here on the Buccateers. Breakfast with the Buccateers, a way too early pregame show. What is your final word for game day, brother?
To all the Bucs fans that are not going to the game, represent, and if you had a ticket, you better not sold to a Lions fan, or you will be called out. Because this is our stadium, our city. No one comes up in our house and thinks they can just buy us off. So at the end of the day, Bucs fans, this is our day, baby. We're going to do this. And if you're not watching Buccateers, what are you doing? This is the pod. We got our man Tones here. He brings the entertainment here. Check him out, yo. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a fun game. Let's have fun. Let's watch some Red Zone, barbecue, cook. Have some fun today. And the weather's beautiful outside. So that's all I got to say. I'm excited. Go Bucs. Creamsicle day. And let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'm amped as well. It's been a pleasure having you here, brother. My final word is this. Pay attention to the Buccateers. We always have some good people on, some good conversations, some good talks. We might have an announcement next weekend as well. You never know, but I'm looking forward to being in the great city of Tampa next weekend as I'm actually traveling out Friday with a buddy of mine, and we'll be in attendance for Bucs Falcons. J-Lo, myself, Huncho, Stunna, a bunch of the guys are going to get together and have some good hangouts. So my one big thing, or my final word is lock in with the Buccateers. We've been getting some tweets. Should I listen to the Buccateers? La-di-la. Just listen to us. Give it a go. Don't ask people. Listen for yourself. I'm glad we're making headways and segues, but you really got to be the one to tell for yourself. And we got a great group here. Stunna, Bucko, Cats, Huncho, myself, and maybe one more in the near future. But it's been an honor. Tampa Tones alongside Jeremy. He rode co-host and co-captain today on Breakfast with the Buccateers. Jeremy, it's been a pleasure, brother. Can't wait to see you next weekend, my man.
We're a part of that Raw Stars, baby. Can't wait to see you, man. We're going to have fun. It's going to be another great day in Tampa Bay. Tones coming to Tampa.
Going to be some more bars to close down, but before then, we got a game today, and it's Gene Decker off here, and Baker Mayfield back to pass. Mayfield looking around. Mayfield finds Rashad White. Rashad White to the 5 to the 1. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Bucs win. Bucs win. Bucs pull off the upset. Rashad White finds himself into the end zone. Fire the damn cannons. It's creamsicle day. Let's go.
Up the gut, Rashad. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Let's fucking go. Fire the cannons.
Oh.
Woo! J-Lo's got his Evans cream. I got my Rashad cream. We in it. Let's go. Creamsicle day. Everybody have fun. 4:25. Don't miss a minute. Raymond James Stadium or on your television. J-Lo, I'll talk to you in the group chat, brother. Love you.
Go Bucs, baby.
Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Bucs fans were there too. These Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.